Two person. See what happened to my network. So, yeah. I can see you, show baby, glow healthy kitchen.
Hey, this girl, good afternoon.
Hello,
Hey,
sis.
sis, good afternoon.
Good
How you
afternoon.
doing? I
I'm
can see you
good.
so clear. How you doing?
I'm very well, sis. And how are you?
Good. So thank you for allowing me to come and borrow small of your brain, like collect everything and put inside my own.
We are borrowing each other's brain, so it's not a problem.
Okay, whatever. At least collect it, put in my own. Hey, so
Mhm.
this topic, the parents, the society and the media. You know,
Yeah.
when we talk about these things, so many things are happening. So many things are happening. A lot is going on. You know,
Yeah.
ritual killing, bullying. You know, so many things are happening, and my fear is concerning the children. But whenever you see these discussions happen, you begin to wonder, who do you blame? So many people say it's bad parenting. But I still know that there are parents that are intentional about their children upbringing. Some people say
Yeah.
it's bad parenting. Other people say it's society. Other people say it's the media. But when you look at these three people, we are going to look at all of them, the parents, the society, the media. All of them have something to take. They have their own blame to take. But my
Exactly.
concern is, are we ever going to get to a point as a parent? Am I ever going to get to a point where I have a common ground with the society and the media?
Hmm.
That's my own question. Are we ever going to get? So if we start talking about the things, the ill things, the things that are going wrong in the society now, who would you be
Okay.
blaming?
You've already said it all. We all share in the blame. We all share in the blame, parents, let's be.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
parents, the parents have their role to play. The
Yeah.
society, the media, we all have our roles to play. And
Yeah.
come to think of it, so the person, so who makes up the society? Where do those people come from?
Come from?
The,
They come from
exactly,
a family.
exactly. So those also in the media, where do they come from?
They
They
come from a
also
family.
exactly they come from the family. So what I can say is that if we are intentional from the
Okay.
family level, at the family level, there is no how we will
Yeah.
not feel the ripple effect in the society and also in the media. So you cannot take one and leave the rest. Three of them must
Okay.
go hand in hand. They must go hand in
Okay.
hand. So for me, I feel yes, some parents may be intentional about parenting, but are
Okay.
all parents intentional? If you now say, okay, parents are intentional, how about the society? Okay, let me even give you a typical example. You are at
Okay.
home, you take time, talk to your children, educate them on what to do, but then you go outside and see a child that is not your biological child, and that child
Yeah.
seems not to do the right thing. What do you do as a parent or as someone in the society? Do you just look past it and just say, "Ha, yeah, I don't want trouble," oh," before they will say, "Ah, my own is too much. Let me kukuma just mind my business." Is that how we
Mm.
behave? And let's also talk about the media. In your home, you can regulate your media. You can regulate what
Yeah.
happens in your home.
Yeah.
You can talk about, oh, okay, there are certain times for us to watch. There are certain programs for us to watch. But when you take
Yeah.
your child to the salon for your child to
Ah.
make her hair or cut his or her hair, what happens right there? What kind of music is played in the salon? When you are in a bus, what sort of music is being played. When we now attend other birthday parties where our children are celebrating their birthdays, what sort of music is played? If it's anything that does not fall within your values or is not something that you accept, what do you do about it? Do you just say, let me respect myself here? Or do you just say, okay, well, let's just dance, children may not know anything, let's just dance, and, what do you do? So what I'm trying to say is that just getting it sorted in your family, getting it fixed in your family is not enough. You have to preach it. I particularly advise parents, I particularly advise teachers or people wherever I see them. I said, see, you cannot just raise your children in isolation. They will still mix up in this society. They will still mix up with these people. So if you're not intentional to also look out for the people in the environment, whether it's in school, around your neighborhood, somehow your children are at risk. So it has to be a collective responsibility. That's just what I can say. You don't just have to do it in your home and neglect the rest.
Yeah. I agree with you. Doing it in your home is not enough. In all honesty, doing it in your home is not enough. You know, I know how many times I've gotten into trouble. You know, either I see a caregiver picking a child from school and I see maybe the treatment, you know, they give to the child. I know how many times I've gotten into trouble with mothers. In fact, one mother said to me in the salon, "This is my child," you know. So you begin to ask yourself, how do you even begin to solve this problem? You know, how do you begin to solve this problem? Because when I talk about the media now, my fear about parenting or this generation of children is that if parents are not careful, society will hand over to your child what you failed to give to them at home. And now when I talk about handing over, it's not about physical things like biscuits or chocolates. No. That thing you covered from your child not to see, the media will hand it over to your children. So when we talk about ritual killing, I begin to ask myself, what made a child of 20 or 19 or 18 to believe that when you kill someone, you are going to make money? So when let's even begin to talk about things like internet fraud. What could have I saw on the news, I think sometime 2 weeks ago, young children who left their homes to go learn it. I've also read that some mothers now take their children and they say he's in uncle's house learning IT bow. So when we do not understand things, so to me, being intentional is not about saying I'm going to be an intentional parent. I'm going to be an intentional parent. No, it is about also knowing and studying what's going on. Because whether you like it or not right now, tech is the language of the future. So I am not telling every parent, because I'm not tech savvy like the way my kids are, but I try my best. I try my best to want to know, okay, teach me what's up, what's happening. Not because I want to really use them, but because having that tech knowledge will help me know what's happening in my children's life. Because if we all say I'm intentional, people think being an intentional parent is about praying, about dressing your children well, about not yelling at your children, about talking to your children calmly. It goes beyond all of these things we are talking. It goes beyond all of these things we are talking. Because if you do not root your children, the society, because I'm going to raise my child, and I'll be raising my child because my neighbor's child also will meet my son. I'm also raising my son that there's a classmate of his that will meet him. I'm also raising my daughter that there's a classmate that will meet her. You know, my children are going to be independent. They will travel, they will enter the bus, they will use Uber. They are going to go to the supermarket, they will be in the bank. Okay, let me tell you what happened. My daughter went to the bank. I told her to drop something for me. I was so tired. So I told her, go and drop this in. So my account officer said, no, call your mom. I think she needs to come. You know, Gen Z. And she was like, ma, so if you don't see my mom, you are not going to do this thing. Now, this is like their attitude of, if you are not doing it, that's your problem. You know? But
Yeah.
she said it casually. It was okay for her.
Yeah.
So the lady had to tell her, go and call your mom if she's outside. So when she called me, I was tired. I had to come inside. And she said, it's like your daughter want them to sack me. You know, she just told me, look at what she said. Immediately, my sister did not waste time. I just told my daughter, do the needful. She didn't even waste time. And she was like, Ma, please, I'm very sorry. And I didn't mean it the way you thought it. I just felt because my mom was tired, so I needed to do this thing, you know? And the woman was like, no, 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 she didn't mean. I said, no, it's not about you. That I'm even happy that my daughter walked into the bank. Now she has learned this one now, and she will never want to repeat such again. Because remembering that she's going to apologize to somebody for her bad, you know, for what we would have called a bad behavior, because to her, she didn't know, you know. So immediately, after she had apologized to the lady, you know, a lady looked at me and she was like, wow, in this Lagos, in this Nigeria, you know, it's looking new. That, you know, trying to see a mom who will make the child apologize to an elder for doing, you know, for speaking wrongly, you know. So everything goes on, and we will keep on making our children to understand what these things are. For the media, I will blame the media on some part, but I will not completely blame the media, because I feel that there are things that will be censored.
Okay.
It wasn't the media that handed my son phone. It wasn't the media that handed my son his laptop. I handed my son his laptop. I gave my son his phone. Now the question is, in being intentional, am I intentional about media too? My son might be 18, my son might be 15, my son might be 16. But it might shock you that my 12-year-old son might handle media more than my 18-year or 19-year-old son. This is where difference in character comes in, or where discipline comes to play. So when these children are exposed to all these things at a not so right time, actually there's no right time, okay? Then did you now prepare them? You know, did you bring these things to them to know these things happen? These things are there. But everything you see in the media is actually not as true as it is in reality. You know, but we put these things in the hands of these children, they dive into it. Then the moment these children begin to see stacks of money and all of this, you now begin to ask yourself, where do you begin to control this? Then the person who put up his new house or his flamboyant lifestyle begins to ask you, did you buy my phone for me? Are you going to tell me what to post?
And know what not to post.
Yes. Yeah. Are you going to tell me what to post and what not to post? Every adult is not going to be like you that will say, for the sake of children, there are some things I will not put out online. So at that point, I begin to blame the media. But after blaming the media, media is a platform, is not seen. The individuals are the seen media.
Exactly.
Media is just an unseen platform. WhatsApp is an unseen platform. Instagram is an unseen platform. Facebook is an unseen platform. The people in the media are the real media.
Yeah.
So how do we manage this?
You know.
So it's too much.
Well, it's much, but I think we can start somewhere. We can start somewhere. So yesterday I was on an interview, in a TV interview, and funnily enough, the same topic came up. And you know, we were also asked who is to blame, the same blame game. And I said something. I said, sometimes let's talk about the media. You just allow your kids have access, or your teenagers or your young adults have access to the information on the media. That's not bad in itself. But like you said, what time do you have to talk to that child, to let that child know, look, hey, all that glitters is not gold. All that you're saying is not right. And let me even shock you. It's sometimes not even media alone. It's even probably where you even worship, the religious houses where you go to. So I'm going to give you an example. I was somewhere, and someone now came out and gave a testimony in quotes and said, I really want to thank God that I just, I just saw money, I just had an alert in my account, and so money dropped. I mean, I don't even know where the money came from. God is still working, and I'm telling you, if you trust in Him, He can pleasantly surprise you. And guess what, my sister? People were shouting, I tap into it. I know that, me too. And I just sat there where I sat. I said, look, you had better go to the bank and go and find out whose money, dropped into your account. You could be arrested because you cannot explain where is this money from, and you're already giving testimonies. And people are seeing that as a miracle. People are celebrating that. People are beginning to tap into it. People are, as you're sharing the testimony, they're already going to go and drop offering to tap into it. So aside from the media, what do we project about wealth? What do we teach them? Even the people that we see that, one of the things I shared yesterday during the interview was this. I said, sometimes there is a missing link in your grass to grace story. So we all know so well about the grass story, but we now see the pump immediately into the grace, the grace platform. You cannot categorically pick processes. Oh, what happened? What did I do? So that any teenager or any young person seeing you where you were at your grass level can replicate the process that you have set out and then get to that level. So there are some missing links. So it's not just the media, even at home, or even your religious houses, even the people they see. So you find someone that was maybe your classmate while the other person was in school. In your mind, you thought this person was more like, did not really know anything. And all of a sudden, boom, the person is making money, he's spraying money in parties. You really try to find out what's the person doing. You just say, man, I'm into a lot. I'm doing a lot, live, just hustle. What are you hustling? What is making up the hustle? You have not shared it. So you realize that some people are gullible. They're not like, hey, whatever that hustle is, I want to know what it is. Please show me the way, lead me on, take me to that place. And they are now forced to do certain things that probably maybe if they were conscious and thought about it, they would not have gone into it anyways. But because they want that thing instantly, they want it quickly, they now go ahead and then pursue this world, or maybe want to live that kind of life. So for me, it's a lot. Apart from just saying, oh, the media, what else? Where are those places that you don't think that these things are passed on to them, but they subliminally take them into their subconscious? So sometimes the leaders' houses are an example of such places. Or you are working, you find out that maybe the level of work that you're doing is not commensurate with the lifestyle. You don't know that maybe they're doing something behind the scene. Maybe they're collecting, some form of bribes, or maybe they're doing some things behind, and you're asking yourself, I have been working hard, how come I can't get to that level? And then one day you now approach the person, this, I'm seeing how things are working with you, are teaching together, but this is what you can do. And the person cannot, again, explain the processes, just says, man, you have to hustle. It's hustling. Now, hustle where they hustle. This is for the brave-hearted people. So when you hear things like that, begin to talk to your children that, hey, there are legit and illegitimate ways of making wealth. There are ways that, you can actually attain fame within, the step of the finger, but there's also the right way. Let's encourage them to do it the right way. Let's encourage them to understand, to ask questions, to understand processes as to where they're going to. Even you, that you're sending your child to someone to teach your child something on, maybe on what's it called, on the internet. What do you know that person that is teaching your child? Do you know what your children are exposed to? Have you tried to have an idea or ask questions, ask people questions? Okay, let's say this cryptocurrency thing, what is it like? Can you just give me, or even the person that is educating your children, can you okay, let me just have an idea, a brief of what is going on. Once in a while, you check it. So there is a whole lot. It's not just like you say, it's not just saying I'm intentional. Oh, I should be the person who wants extra skill. I'm going to give the person extra. You also have to get involved. You also have to protect. You also have to sift what they hear. Whenever they're listening to things, sift it. Sometimes I sit down with my children and I watch movies with them, and I say, okay, so let's share lessons. What did you learn? What didn't you learn? Okay, what would the person have done better? Or sometimes you can even create imaginary stories and relate with them just to know what they would do in such situations. So even those of us in the faith, let's say for those of us that are Christians, we make even the studying the scriptures very boring to our children. Whereas
Studying the Bible is a judgment time. We judge.
Exactly. So we make it so
judge.
boring. We are still using the King James version. Pardon my, we are still using the thou seest, moved, did it, comment, downloaded, all those kind of things. Whereas they are simplified version that we can use to pass these messages across to them and teach life lessons. You should be able to sit the messages and then know how to share it with them so that you make it interesting and they can use it and apply it into their life. So for me, it's a whole lot. So this teaching, it's a whole lot. It's a combination of a whole lot of things. So rather than sit down and lay blame, let's begin to say, okay, if this and this did not work, how can I be more intentional? If I had been doing this before now and my children seem to be easily influenced by others, what can I do to increase my influence upon their life? What can I do for them to trust me? If I am living a kind of life that makes it so if I'm living a life that I am not innovative, I am not someone that is a creative a creative solution provider, or I'm someone that is just comfortable in my own, in mediocrity, and my kids want more. What can I do for myself to encourage them to leave that level of mediocrity and strive for greatness? How can I help them also to, okay, fine, you can make money, but you can make money by solving a problem. The bigger the problem you solve, the larger the chances of you making wealth legitimately. So what can I do? So these are certain conversations that we should have. Let's not just absorb ourselves and keep blaming people. Let us do it with our children, even at home. Those are the things I can share.
Okay, you see, like what you said here, this is what I wanted to ask you, and you actually answered me. Okay. That place you said, making money by solving a problem. Because what I wanted to ask you is, if you tell a teenager that ritual killing won't give him money, so what will you replace it with? If you tell, because if we are going to end this, you must bring something that you're using to replace it. Now, if ritual killing gives money, Amaka doesn't know.
I don't know either.
These children believe it so much because either they are seeing who is working for. You understand?
Yeah.
If internet fraud gives money, I don't know because I've never tried it. Okay?
Yeah.
But these children believe it so much because the people coaching them try it and it's working. So it is not enough for me to tell a young boy who might have had his degree, master's, PhD, and he has looked for work. In fact, the shoe he's used to look for work has Tipia Shala in this Lagos. And all of a sudden, you're telling that young guy, don't do ritual killing, though. It will not make this. Do you know where we end it? We always say, you will go to hellfire. You will go to hellfire. Have you seen hellfire before? Have you seen hellfire before? Like, can we be real? Like, these people make these youngsters believe that do this and do this, money go they pump.
Exactly.
So what are we going to replace it with? But you already answered me that making them to understand that, you see, what I don't like is when you tell somebody work hard. See, your funny man. If work hard, they make person rich. Shebi, you know, say person where they push barrow.
Exactly.
Take for market where they work for sun.
Exactly.
If I don't make money pass Dangote.
Yeah, true.
So begin to make people realize that replace hard with smart work.
Beautiful.
Be diligent. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you have to replace, you have to exchange the negative vibes that is being placed in the mind of these children and place it with a realistic vibe. Because we can't keep saying work hard, go to school. Often we still know people who came first in class, who have first class, who are PhD holders, and they are still struggling.
Yeah.
There are people who have slept in church, who have fasted, who are, let nobody get me wrong, fasting is wonderful, prayer is wonderful. But even the word of God tells you that prayer without good work. So why are we throwing good work? Why are we throwing good work? He didn't say prayer without hard work. Prayer without good work, which means that good work could be either your smart work, either your diligence, either your craft, either your, whatever it is that good represents in the work. But the most important thing is that work is there.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
so we need to come to a point where stop telling people ritual money will kill you, yahoo will kill you. No. What do you now? What are you bringing to my table?
Exactly.
What are you giving me to replace what you are condemning already?
Exactly. Yeah.
All of us are condemning. Everybody saying, God forbid, God forbid, God forbid, God forbid. Yes, God don't finish forgiving. Okay, you are telling a young lady that following a sugar daddy is bad. We all know, even the young girl herself knows that following sugar daddy is bad. But the young girl is not waiting for you that at the end of the day, what have you replaced? How have you need to reform me positively for me to be able to believe you. But why are they following sugar daddy from the mouth of the people that have coached them? They made them to believe, man, you cannot be in school and wear one dress. You cannot be in school and wear one shoe. You cannot be in school and not know what's up. You cannot be in school and not, have iPhone 12 Pro Max and all of that. Then you come and be speaking for the girl. Godliness and contentment is great gain. Explain godliness for her. Explain contentment for her. Exactly. That's the first thing you need to know. So how do I explain to a young girl what godliness is all about? Is godliness just about tying scarves, covering your hair? And this girl is sitting down doing born again, and she's seeing babes going out with people, men as more older than their fathers, because they want to survive. So what are we replacing? Exactly. So what are parents replacing in the minds of their children? You see the ones who might be in school and they are making money either with makeup, either with nail fixing, either with forex, either with so many other things that they already know, phone fixing. Those are the people who their brain have been pushed to understand what godliness with contentment means. So you need to have something you are offering these teenage children. Exactly. There must be something you are offering in the minds and in the hands and in the you must hone their skill. If you don't, stop telling them that following sugar daddy is a bad thing. You go to, because the pain is they already know where you end. I will go to hellfire. So they will complete it for you. I will go to hellfire. Don't worry, when we get to the hell, we will see the fire. Some will even say that if this is what is even going to make me go to hellfire, then I'll gladly get there, And so I'm not trying to cut you short, but no, it's one of the things I share even amongst my teenagers, or even amongst caregivers or people that I see. So you see someone, you begin to condemn a child's behavior. A child is flirting, a child is jumping from one man to the other. What have you done? So aside from calling that child to say, hey, this kind of life, this is this, what have you done? Have you asked that child? Have you see, sometimes this, that people, absorb them. When things happen, they feel that, oh, this is not my portion. This could never have been my child. God forbid. My child can never do this. But what I used to say is that flip the point. For once, just imagine that child were to be your child. What would you do? What would you do to that child? So when I see any child around me, any young adult behaving, I first of all engage you. I first of all try to talk to them and say, hey, so how's it been? How are you doing? Sometimes they may present a front as if all is well, or as if all is not well, as if all is well with them, and you get to find out what the main concern is. Now, I don't stop there. I try to ask, so how can I help to solve this problem? And then they're not like, if only I can even just have money to pay my fees, and money to maybe get basic things, I'll be fine. So I now know, okay, now we are making headway. Even if I cannot do it on my own, I can now walk up to other people that have like minds like me and say, hey, I've just met a girl that needs this and needs that. Please, I can afford this, I can get this. What can you do to help? And when the people now, when the people now say what they have, you can now call that child next time and say, hey, that discussion we had, this is what. Can we do that? Can you now start from here? Can you drop this thing and then let's see how far this can go? What am I trying to say? I acknowledge that there is a problem. I don't just stop at the problem. I try to find out, okay, how can I help? It is at the point of helping that child will listen to you.
That child, I
Yeah.
have people that will say, "Ma, I'm calling you mom." I don't even call my mother mom, but I call you mom because you
Wow.
have proven to me over and over again that I can trust you. They have issues
Wow.
and they're like, "No, mom, it's you that I trust. You're my mom." There was
Wow.
even one. There was one that I had. My mother-in-law was buried on that day, and I just knew that this girl values me so much as her mother that if I did not call her on that day to wish her happy birthday, that man, I'm going to be deep in hot soup. So whilst we were going to, while we were trying to have, going for the line in state, I picked up my phone in the car and I called. I said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that that I've not forgotten your birthday. This is me wishing you the best this year." And she shouted, "Mom, even on the day you're burying your mother-in-law, oh my God, mommy, thank
Wow.
you so much, thank you so much." So what am I trying to say? I'm just trying to add to what you said. Apart from saying don't do this, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
When I grew
Yeah.
up in my assembly where I grew up, I realized that the church particularly took note of children that their maybe one parent had died. There was a club known as Holy Club, called Holy Club in my congregation. Then what did they do? They would pick out these people and then ask members, if you are burdened to pay school fees for children, whatever level, please let's gather and do that. And so I grew up, some of my classmates, as in some of the people that were my mates, the church sponsored their education. The church went as far as setting them to, in as much as they were doing well, you present a result at the end of the day, they will assess that you're doing well. You're not doing well, they will send you to a counselor, someone that can coach you to try to find out, are you
Wow.
okay? This is something
Wow.
that happened when I was growing up, so it is still fresh in my mind. And I keep referring that anywhere I find myself, I said that if we can go back to that, we would retrieve some of these young people from, they'll make a U-turn. We are genuinely interested about their well-being. We are genuinely caring,
Sure.
caring about what happens. So rather than just say, don't do this, don't do that, there are alternatives, there are ways. What are you gifted at? Okay, can you come and work with me? And even some people will now say, "Oh, even if your parents are not there, could you come live with me?" And as you're living with somebody, such people are taking care of those children as they would their own children. As in, they take absolute care. Not that you're bringing someone to your home because you want to, and then you're maltreating that child. If we now keep your children and this particular child, this child will always stand up because you're not giving out the same treatment. So for me, it's a collective responsibility. How many of us
Yeah.
want to get these boys from the street, the boys that we think? You should know that they did not just arrive there. Something must have happened to them. Something must have pushed them to that. So rather than just condemning them, how many of us are willing to bypass whatever things, whatever, maybe a reputation?
Yeah.
How many of us are ready to bypass that and genuinely help them? Genuinely look for ways to get them off the street. Until we get to that level, they will not listen to us. And they sense it when we genuinely care about them. So it's a whole lot than just talking and saying you are going to go to hellfire. It's a whole lot. It takes a whole lot of guts. It takes your resources, and in fact, it's a whole lot. That's just what I can say.
Yeah. When we talk about bullying, I want to say something about bullying, because who do I blame for bullying? The moment my child begins to have entitlement mentality, I need to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
The moment I notice that my child is beginning to have entitlement mentality, I need to put an end to it immediately. And make my child to understand that, yeah, there are some things you will have, and there are some things you cannot come to collect from a place of entitlement.
Yeah.
But these things happen and we let it go. Okay, then either a child didn't just wake up and learn bullying. Either I have seen my dad beat my mom, or I have seen my mom yell back at my dad, whatever be, it could be vice versa. Or I have seen my mom's treatment to, the people that work for her, or I have seen my dad. Then either the caregiver begins to return it to the child. Because a bully is someone who has also experienced it. And now, because I cannot beat who bullied me, I need to look for, because my mindset have been conditioned to know that it is someone who I can deal with. So I begin to look for somebody who I can deal with. Then I bully the person. But I say something. Before a bully gets to the society, what was done to the bully in the family? Before a bully stepped out to the society, as in to the classroom, to his or her workplace, before a bully got married to someone's daughter or to someone's son and messed them up, like crushed them, what was done to that bully from the home? What happened? What happened to the bully? How was the bully transformed? The bully was not transformed. Do you understand? Good. Yeah. How was the bully? So either the bully was transformed to become a better person, or the bully was ignored and the bully transitioned to another level of bully. These are two things. Either the bully was transformed or engineered so well at home. It's not necessarily that it will be by the parents, because some lose their parents. So, or maybe their parents are divorced. Okay. So it could be an uncle, an aunt, or whomsoever. So a bully was raised by somebody. So a bully has been conditioned either from an aggressive environment. So how was the bully transformed? What tools were used? What boundaries were put in place? Either the bully got transformed or engineered well to become a better person, to know better, or the bully was ignored and, everybody being so carefree. Now, so they do this one to the best, he do the beat, he do the yell, he do everything, he do. And the bully now transitioned to another level of bully. So from that place, the bully moved from the hands of the parents. You have not gotten to a point where you see parents, they cannot talk to their children anymore. You have not seen parents who cannot talk to their 18, 19 years, 16, 15-year-old children. They are scared. They send other people to go and help them talk to their children. The child, because the child is ignorant of what he's doing, the child is feeling like, man, I don't arrive. Now maybe this something they happen. The child now moved from the family and entered the society. And the society could have been his classroom, his workplace, being in a marriage or in a relationship, begin to beat a girl anyhow, a girl that you have not paid by, even if you have paid by price on the girl. And they begin to beat the person. That bully has transitioned from family, from home, to marriage, to workplace, to school. And I'm going to be honest to you, because the media will only carry it. This child, this man beat the wife died, or this woman used knife and stabbed the husband. Everybody will say, now what? All of us are hiding under our key part. If there has been a consequence, as when I mean consequence for a bully, if there has been, as in a real life, as in a big time consequence, and they saw it koro, not just from government or from society or from community, if it started from the home. If it started from the home, that's where intentionality comes in. If it started from the home, then a bully cannot go beyond. Imagine if every parent learns martial arts. Imagine if every child in a home learns martial arts. Just imagine if you are living in a street where you have like maybe 10, 15 compound, 15 houses. Okay. And every individual that lives in each home learns martial arts. In your you have this street gathering or whatever you call it, fun place. So where everybody come out on Saturday morning, both the father, the mother, everybody is learning martial arts. Sis, I beg, family engineer, what do you think will happen when it comes to beating and killing and yelling? What do you think will happen when it comes to bullying in that family? Who will bully who? This person is a black belt holder. This one is a Kiniko color belt holder. So who will bully who? Before the father thinks of beating the mother is already, in fact, they don't already reset in brain to remember, say, man, so this one now all of us are
somebody's already starting like this and waiting.
So it's not about saying stop bullying. I ask again, what have we done to replace or to reshape or transform the mindset of every member of our family?
Sis, this bullying issue for me, we only make noise when we are not the one making it out to others. We make noise when we are not the ones making bullying to others. But when people made it out to us or on our children, that's when we begin to shout. Now, do you know that the moment I even, try to use force to get you to do what I want, there is a level of bullying there. So,
of course,
maybe maybe you brought something to me, and I told you, oh no, this is not okay. And then you brought it again. I'm like, no, this is not okay. And then next time, I said this is not okay. And I start, and there is this, what is it called? There is a sudden reaction to the fact that, well, okay, okay. And then I'm fidgeting and I now go ahead and fear is instilled. And then then the next time the person is bringing it and it's bringing, it's gotten from somewhere. It starts like that, even from our home. So while you're shouting, don't bully someone. I will never forget what Pierre said, or said something. He said, let's say you want to fire your gate man, or you want to fire your driver. Your driver has done something wrong, and then maybe you had told him over and over again that look, you're not comfortable with that, and you say you want to fire him. Then let's assume that there are two ways to go about it. You come out of your house and start shouting, "You are fired! You, this guy, you have been stressing me. Get out of my compound. Pack your loads. Go." Or you now call him close to you and say, "Hey, Mr. Titus, Mr. David, you're fired. Your services are no longer needed." I say, no longer needed. Haven't you passed the same message? Which one will even be more intimidating? Is even the one that you called me and told me, hey, Mr. Please, you're fired. So we realize that bullying starts from little things in your home when your children are not doing things the way you want to, and then you now maybe want to exercise. You feel that the best way to get it done is to flog, or is to hit, or is to shout. And the children see, let me tell you how it was. The children see that the moment you do that, there seems to be some form of order. There seems to be some form of forced compliance. What do you think they will do when they are out and then they want people to also comply? They would also use the same method that you use. The same shouting, the same smacking, the same, because for them they feel that, oh, and that is what they used to do to me to get me on track. So I can also do this to another person to get the person on track. And some people just do it, they don't even know when to stop. They don't even, at the end of the day, the moment maybe, so you keep doing that to a child, like I said, forced compliance. The child may, you may do that to a child, and then all of a sudden the child will suddenly say, hey, maybe one day you're trying to flog him, he just collects the cane, breaks it, and walks away. That's how I'm ready to talk about the fact that you said that at some point, some parents cannot even talk to their children again because they're afraid. They're now sending people. Something has happened. You cannot correct your child without first connecting with your child, without first finding that common ground. Even your employee at work, you don't just wake up one day and then that person has done something wrong. You start shouting, what kind of useless person is this? How am I even paying you people say? Why don't you start from, connect with that person's face and then pass whatever instruction you want to pass to the person. The person will receive it better. But we realize that sometimes, based on, just like you said, how we were engineered, we thought it was the best way. Oh, shouting, yelling, oh, hitting, opening our eyes, doing all sorts of things, tossing things. Now we even watch it on media, in the media. And when someone gets angry, what do? They shove everything off the table. They hit the wall. They punch the wall. They do all sorts of things. And people are saying, what you do not see, if I never saw such a picture, I would know that is a way of expressing anger. If we all grew up in our homes and realized that when people were angry, they were calm and said, hey, that thing you did, I did not like it. Can you do this? Everybody will just feel that that's the right way to go. So, but when you realize that in my home, when there is something, you now say, when is mommy angry? When she starts shouting, when she starts hitting, when she starts yelling, or when daddy starts doing this, everybody's that's when daddy is serious. Everybody will feel that some people will think that that's the serious way to get people to do things. So for me, bullying is one aspect that we let us not even focus on people outside. Let's look inward. What are you doing? What are you doing that you have held on to that has not produced results? But there is this
Someone said, Making with Chichi said, my dear. Making with Chichi said, anger is shouting is the only way. Oh, you should leave that thing.
No,
Then
it's not the only
Lord
way.
said, calmness is a skill to learn. I'm going to be honest. Calmness na skill where person need to go learn for school. Oh, person need to go learn calmness. But I'm being honest to you because
No.
making with Chichi, I can understand. She said my mother did not shout at me. She roared. I did not end up a bully. I am very sane.
But Chichi, automatically you should know that you had worked on yourself, honestly, if you want to be honest, because if you are like that at a point, people would not see. I'm saying this from experience. To be very honest with you, I think I've made a post before where I said that I was the lioness. I was a roaring lioness in my home, and you don't want to know how.
Yeah, I think I read something like that.
If I step into the house, my kids, everybody would just, what is it called? Everybody would just take cover. When I did FSE with you, in 2017, and in my mind I was like, oh my God, how am I going to leave my children for 8 days? Oh, but they were excited because their father was with them, helping them out. When I now came back from the door, I think my husband just said, Amy, as you're coming in, I'm sorry the house will not be as great as you want it, but I think we tried. So please just be with us. You can imagine that kind of scenario. But hey, I am telling you that it's possible. I am Senna. I have a better relationship with my children now. The moment I learned that in FSE and I have applied it, and it's one thing, my husband will be saying something very serious and in a very quiet manner. I used to, as I admire that kind of, I'm like, God, how does he do it? He can be really upset, but he's really calm. He wants to talk to my kids and say, come here. Let me even paint you a picture. One day, what happened in my home. One, I know, growing up, I would see my parents, maybe my mom, when she wants to beat you, we would run around. And so one day, my kids got me upset because they knew that I would shout. So I was running around in my parlor, running around the chairs with a cane, and they were running around. And at the end of the day, I think my husband just called me. And I was gasping, Amy, I don't know what to do. These children are just children, I'm just trying to beat them and they're making me run around the living room. My husband just said, what did you say? I said, I'm running around, I'm gasping for breath. My husband was at work. By the time he got back, he said, how could you allow your kids to use you like that? I mean, the parents here running around, all you want to do was to stand somewhere and tell them, come here, and they'll be right there. So why were you using a cane to chase them all over the house? And oh my God, that's when it dawned on me that, hey, see, all I needed to do was just to stay calm, calculated, and say, hey, come here, Misha, KB, come here, stand right here. And I would have said, what did you say? Running around with cane. If it was in the olden days, you run around, and if you had a rapper, the rapper will fall off, and you're still running around. So, my dear, I still say that, see, there are better ways. There are better ways, honestly. Shouting, yelling is not okay. I have
tasted both sides. Children can drive you crazy. Children can drive one crazy.
I've tested both sides, and I feel that the Senna way is a better way to stop the shouting and the yelling, because at the point,
yes.
your blood pressure may even go up. I mean, it's not even good for you health-wise. At a point, you become a terror in your home. People, they will celebrate when you're leaving. They will have relative peace. And I remember there was a time when my children were much younger. If I am at home, they'll be asking, Mommy, when are you going to go out? When will you go and do your hair? When are you going to go for they'll be reminding you of things that you should go and do because you are a terror to them. So it may seem as if it's working. It may be okay, but if you want to be honest with yourself, at some point where those shoutings were made, it brought down your esteem. It made you feel less of yourself at some point. And I believe that if your parents actually also, if the tables were to be turned now and they found an easier or better way, let me not say easier, a better way to make a decision, they will do it. So
they will do it.
Let's not just say that, oh, there are some things that, and why maybe your child may seem like you're shouting because, I mean, it's only shouting that gives results because they have seen that maybe at that time, that's when you enforce certain things when you're shouting. But you can also be calm and still enforce certain things and it works. You don't need to shout to enforce certain things. You need to Just sometimes, just having that person have eye-to-eye contact. I've had it with my children where they are teenagers, as in one of my son is a teenager. I'll call him, look at him in the eye. This is what I want you to do. And I think that I think I have given you some time. So I need this thing done at so and so time. And if you don't do it, then this is going to be the consequence. Of course, the consequence would have been stated. And he does it. He does it. Though sometimes I tweak it a bit. So let me give you an example also. Like in my home, I prefer cleaning on Saturdays. My children prefer to sleep on Saturday morning for so long. So when I noticed that we were struggling, now I was like, okay, when would you love to clean? They said we'll prefer to clean on Thursdays or Fridays. That's when they are home for holidays anyway. So what did they do? And I said, okay, go ahead. So on Thursday, on Friday, they are cleaning. Maybe they may sweep on Friday. On Thursday, on Saturday, they are cleaning. On Friday, they are cleaning. Then on Saturday, they have a long time to sleep. And that is the way I've been able to solve issues without shouting. People should come down, clean this place, or people should do. No, I didn't have to do that. It was just a conversation, calm conversation with them, and we reached a compromise, and it's working. So shouting may work now, but not all the time. You can imagine maybe your son or got married or your daughter got married, and they now brought an issue to you. Do you think at that point, as a mother, that shouting is what will solve the problem? They are married or they have their own. You now call them and start shouting. Is this how you have been since when you were small? You have not heard something. These are big. No, shouting will not solve the problem at that time. So the earlier we take on the better way of handling our kids, the better for us. The earlier we start, the better. But the fact that it's working now is not a guarantee that it will work forever. Yeah, so
seriously,
that is also
that is working now is not a guarantee.
Yeah.
God help us, because seriously, parenting can drive one crazy. Seriously, parenting can drive one crazy if you are not careful. If you are not careful, seriously. So we just
we don't have the right tools. Yeah, we don't have the right tools, and you don't learn the right skills.
Yeah. So basically, it's saying that everything starts from the family. You know, we are going to encourage parents, raise your child, and remember that there's a child your child is going to meet outside.
Yeah.
Then society, do the needful by finding a common ground to build a better relationship with the parents. Now, society now is the religious places, the school, and every other place the children will be or parents will have to meet. Yeah. Then the media try to also help parents, because most parents are ignorant of tech. Exactly. So try to also help parents to preserve the innocence of children. Whether we like it or not, it's upon us to preserve the innocence of these children. So this is the only way that the family, that's the parents, the society, and the media can have a common ground. Because at the end of the day, the major interest is preserving the innocence of these children we are raising. Yeah. Why am I always intentional about my child? Is that I also encourage another parent to be intentional, is that if you be saying that your brother's son will come marry my daughter, then I have done all my good work. Then your brother didn't do his good work. Or it's the other way around. Yeah. One family begins to heal another child of the trauma or the mess that has been put in her. So I believe that we all should do more, because if we know more, we can do more. So that's my own 1 cent. So I'm not going to lay blame on the parents. I'm not going to lay blame on society or on the media. I'm only going to say, parents, do your own work from your home. Media, do your own. Society, do your own. And at the end, we'll find a common ground to preserve the innocence of these children. Yeah.
Yes, that's the right thing. That's just the summary of it. Parents also do more. Don't feel that your work just ended when you just gave birth to the kids and raised them.
Yeah.
Because the parenting goes beyond childbirth. There's a whole lot. And don't also feel that because you're not a parent yet, that this does not concern you. In as much as you're having interactions with people, know that it's the work for everyone. The young people, everyone. In fact, I would always, if you ask me, which I've always said, parenting should be a course in the university. Everyone should learn it. We should start everyone. By the time we get it right, healing would start early, so that before you even go and start taking care of children, or before you even go and start raising your own children, you must have attained some level of healing to make better impact. So it's a collective effort. After all, everywhere we find ourselves, the society, the media, they all come from the family.
Yeah,
So thank you.
sure. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining myself and Ofonime. So we're going to see you again next week, Tuesday, on this parenting talk show. It's not just for the both of us, for every parent, but would be parents. Call your neighbor. So let's get all this thing working together. Thank you, everyone. Make it with Chichi, Lolo, everyone that joined us. Bye.
Everyone. Bye.
Thank you.